Welcome back to another Overwatch Coach VOD review. So I'm excited to bring you a Brigitte VOD for today, and it's even on our newest map, the Monastery. And if you've been watching some of my other videos, specifically the tiered list for supports, you'll remember I said that I thought Brig was underrated support, especially against Doomfists. Well, guess what? This Brig is going up against a Doomfist. So I'm kind of excited to see exactly what we'll be getting from them out of a production standpoint, because it looks like the enemy team, for the most part, is playing a fairly meta team comp. The DPS are a little on the offside, but the supports and the tank 100% meta. So let's get into this here. This is what they write. I'm looking to try and get better. This is a good game for me, and when I play like this, I feel like if I try to do more, I'm trying to do too much. Besides hit more whip shots, any advice welcome. Thank you in advance. Note the ultimate timing was really bad. That is the biggest thing I could self-diagnose. Okay, so this is Gold 5, and it's on Shambali. So I haven't VOD reviewed Shambali before, and I haven't really played this map a whole lot yet, so I'm not totally sure how this will go in terms of the map side of things. I think I've only still played this map maybe 3 times, 2 for sure, maybe 3. I can specifically remember 2 times, because one was DPS and one was support. I feel like there might have been a third in there, but I'm honestly not sure if I've even played this map 3 times yet. So that's going to be my only maybe weakness to this whole thing. But I've definitely done Brig on the escort maps. So Brig is basically going to be bodyguarding the cart here, is what I'm expecting you to do. That's what you should be doing. You should be on the cart 100% of the time, especially if there's going to be a Doomfist. He'll come to you most likely. You can maybe kind of venture away from the cart a little bit, but primarily you're on cart bodyguard duty. Use your shield to get out of tough spots, hide behind the cart, use the cart as leverage in terms of cover and whatnot, use your shield to get to it. And I think you're going to have a pretty good game based on just the Doomfist coming to you, and probably the Lucio will too, if I had to guess. For Lucio players, if you're going up against a Brig, keep your distance and you can punish the Brig. But Brig is strong on dive. Lucio tends to dive with the Doomfist. So and considering this is Gold 5, I'm betting we're going to see some of that. So without further ado, let's get into the game. So, all right, you already know where the Doomfist is. So what I would expect you to do is maybe play like mid-step, just so you've got a decent angle, and you can either shield bash or whip shot him back, depending on if he tries to punch forward. If he tries to punch forward, you should match it with a shield bash. And if he kind of just continues poking like what he's doing right there, you can shield or whip shot him. What do you do?
Trust in each other and
okay, so that was actually an interesting whip shot, because you basically sent him back to where he started. However, you already wasted your shield bash. I don't think I would have shield bashed when you did. Because if you shield bash when he punches, you knock him down and puts him in a really rough spot. Try to match Doomfist punches with shield bashes. And in a circumstance like this, not really viable, but if you have teammates that are hurt and you've got a Doomfist right there just holding his block, don't be afraid to whip shot that, because that'll get your healing aura going. But right here, I'm hoping you're not doing it, because there's really no reason to. And it's kind of annoying to watch a Moira damaging Doomfist here, because if you punch, or if you do anything to a Doomfist when he's blocking like this, that makes his next punch stronger. I really honestly feel like Brig is the only hero that gets a pass on wailing away on a blocking Doomfist outside of just accidentally hitting him or something like that. But, yeah. Okay, he's dead. Good. So, considering you've got 2 people that could potentially shoot you down, you should be holding your shield here. Yep. Alright, good. Heal up your Orisa. Okay, so you should have seen that dynamite and gotten away from it, so you being on fire here is completely on you. Try to be a little bit more aware of that next time. This should be an easy whip shot for you on the Ashe, just to knock her back, get your healing going. Okay, you don't even take it. I'm not really sure why you looked away from the Ashe with your shield, although for whatever reason the Ashe didn't punish you for it.
Helping you recover.
Receive my aid.
So, the reason why the Torb is dying is because you're not getting your healing aura off enough. When I told you to whip shot the Ashe, that would have gotten some extra healing to the Torb, and it would allow you to get more armor packs in your reserve, because you're basically living on 1 at the moment. You know, you get 1 and you throw it, and then you gotta wait again. You gotta be able to land that whip shot on the Ashe when I pointed that out, to allow you to save up more armor packs for when you really need them. And then the shield bash to kind of get out of their line of sight is okay, but I probably would have tried to do it not into the wall and into a place that would have allowed you to get up there, which is apparently where the Orisa was. I think you go up and around there, so maybe shield bashing into this general area would have been a little bit more of a smarter play. And then you should, well, okay, you've already used your whip shot, but I was gonna say you could whip shot the Lucio and kill him right there. I like the shield bash to close the distance on the Kiriko, and then Kiriko dies. That's good. Yeah, so your whip shot looks like you're gonna need to work on your whip shot a little bit. You also wasted an armor pack, and considering you've basically been living on 1 armor pack and then that's it, you got to be careful on where you're throwing these out to. And until you really get your whip shot down, you really got to be smart on where these armor packs go. Put your shield up. Okay, that was a good whip shot. Shield bashing that Lucio and closing distance on his last hop would have been good. But you let him get away. You probably could have finished him off, in honesty. Yeah, so, okay, that was a little bit of a lagged response. I would have liked to have seen that shield bash come out sooner there.
Helping you recover.
So what I would have done here is I would have... So when you get to right here, put your shield up and stare at the wall, and you're going to get a line of sight around the corner. Kind of like when you hold up your shield when you're playing Reinhardt and you can kind of see more around you. It's the same principle. So scout around the corner before you just reveal yourself and make yourself susceptible to being killed. Because what you do is now you have the entire... You've got 1, 2... 3, soon to be 4 people staring you down, and then what you're going to do is throw your whip shot out, miss, and while that mace is out there, you can't shield yourself, and you're still susceptible to taking damage. Now, they didn't punish you. Better enemy team punishes you there. Same thing with that shield bash. Kind of not a good idea to shield bash that, because it puts you around the corner again, and now you're getting shot. Now they're trying to punish you. Yeah, so, and then there, the whip shot accuracy again. Kind of a laggy response with these shield bashes. I'd like to see a little bit more of a response, a quicker response to these shield bashes. And then you got punched by the Doomfist. That's a great time to shield bash, because then you knock them down. Assuming you time it right. But yeah, your response time to it kind of feels like you want to do the right thing, but your response time to actually doing it just feels a little slow or a little off.
Looking better already. Helping you recover.
A taste of poison.
Useless armor pack there. Hold your shield up and then shield bash when he comes down. Yeah, that's just bad accuracy again there. Hopefully that'll just kind of come with more time playing Brig. Yeah, this is an alright ult. Stay with your team though, so they get the armor. Yeah, kill the lamp. Okay, you just shield bash, or not shield bash. You whip shotted the lamp. Don't do that. Just smack it. Because now if you had whip shot, you'd have gotten a kill. I mean, they're still gonna die, but you could have gotten a kill, and that's more fun. You know?
Greetings. The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Heal your echo. There you go. Did not need two for that. Just give them one, let the Moira do the rest. You should be the one on cart. Let the Torb move up. That's an enemy Reaper. Yeah, see, your response time to that Reaper being there, it probably surprised you, but still that response time to just even acknowledging there was an enemy Reaper like right next to you was just slow. If you didn't, you should have pinged that Lucio. People need to know there's an overextending Lucio. That I don't know if they would have been able to do anything about it, but... Okay, so I like that you at least threw the whip shot this time, but you missed it. So, getting better accuracy on these whip shots, if you're serious about playing Brig, and I'm totally fine with you being serious about playing Brig, there's going to be a lot of Doomfist this season. You gotta get better accuracy on these whip shots, so that's definitely going to be something you're going to want to work on. Maybe in a custom lobby, you know, find yourself in a custom game where you can do some aim training and just work on your whip shots a bit. You should be on the cart still. I'm okay with you venturing away from the cart a little bit, but you should be the one on the cart here. That's a good whip shot. Okay, good. I'm pretty good with that shield bash. You missed another easy whip shot. That's a good whip shot. Alright. Yeah, so you heard the Doomfist, but you didn't turn around to acknowledge him. Excuse me. And then you got punched for it. So you got when you hear Doomfist charging a shot, you got to look around. Yep. So yeah, same principle there with the Reaper ult. You just got to be looking around for that. Because you could have held up your shield and probably survived that.
Hang on till.
The one thing I do want to say too is Brig can do a lot of damage mitigation. And if you're playing with a tank such as like a Diva, Orisa, Zarya, Junker Queen, if I were you, I would be looking at my mitigation stat in relation to Doomfist would be another one. In relation to what those style tanks are doing for mitigation, because if you play it correctly and you play your shield and you take damage with your shield, you can mitigate pretty close, and in some cases more, and in other cases being pretty close, and in some other cases maybe like 500 to 800 under. But you should be able to keep your mitigation in relation to what those tanks spit out as a Brig. if you actually are aggressive with your shield, like you're keeping the shield out. If you're taking any damage, it's because they actually knocked your shield out, that kind of a thing. And I'm not seeing that out of you a lot. You are using the shield, but I think you could be using it more. So this rally here, I'm not a fan of because I don't think anybody's around you. Yeah, it's just you and Orisa. This is not, this is not worth it. You should not pop a Brig ult for that. And you should not be engaging this either. Armor, no armor, I don't care. This is not something for you to engage. Yeah. Yeah, Brig's ult isn't what it used to be, and I don't want to say it's one of the weaker ults in the game, but it's on like the middle tier. It's probably on the lower end of the middle tier of ults, and it's definitely a weaker ult, especially in Overwatch 2. But you need to stop trying to shield bash over that and just either go a different way or go around and shield bash up, because I've watched you waste this twice now. But to get proper value out of a Brig ult, like, would be right here, like shield bashing into your team just to kind of catch up to them and then pop your ult. You need to do it to initiate a team fight or when you're defending against an initiated team push. You can't use it to back somebody out like a speed boost or anything like that. It just doesn't work that way. And unless Brig's got nano and already has built up some armor, her ult doesn't really allow you to just walk around and kill everything like it kind of used to either. So, apparently though, Brig is getting a rework with her ultimate. She's got a new ult coming her way. I guess it's just being delayed because they are, I guess it's requiring new programming for animations and such. So, I don't know anything more than that though in terms of what this new ultimate's going to be, but if you haven't heard, Brig's getting a new ultimate somewhat soon. Okay, so if there's a window up, you shouldn't be peeking this. You should be using your shield to get to better cover. Your shield isn't cover for this. Yep. Okay.
Much longer.
Yeah, look how fast that shield melted. I mean, it basically one shot and it's dead. Heal your, yeah, you got an armor pack. Heal your Echo. Yeah, you didn't, I don't know why you didn't get your last armor pack off, but, the thing you should have done here is you should have gone back into here, because it looked like a lot of your team was playing back here too, but you had your shield up, you just put your shield up, back up, and just hide back here until that window goes away. And if they dive you, so be it. Now, here's the other thing though. They swapped off of Doomfist and they are no longer playing dive. You don't want to be Brig against any of that. You don't want Brig against any of this. You want Brig against dive characters. That's where Brig is at her best, and where any kind of comment I made about her being underrated, that's where that comes into play. Brig into range is terrible. At that point, she's barely better than a Zenyatta, and in maybe some cases might even be worse than Zenyatta. So now, like, you were doing fairly good against the Doomfist and whatnot, but now that there isn't a Doomfist,
60 seconds.
oh, I'm not. Let's back up. I thought I was on you and I wasn't. But yeah, here, this is where you're going to struggle, and it's not even going to be something you're doing right or wrong. I mean, the only thing you're doing wrong here is you're playing Brig into what you're up against. There's not much for you to be doing here. Now, that was a good whip shot on the Lucio. Heal your Mei. Not sure why your Mei's going in here. Yeah, that shield should have been up pretty much that whole time, by the way. You got an armor pack, heal your Mei. Okay, I guess I'm alright with it not going to Mei there, but really, I would have thrown it to the Mei before I even looked at the Orisa. I would have been topping off the Mei there. Your team is at a real disadvantage to your support comp. Lucio can't heal this, and this team comp can't be healed by Lucio Brig unless you're landing 100% whip shots and you're getting your mace swings off on top of all the armor packs. This at this point is now a support comp issue.
Looking better already.
And this would require you to swap off of Brig. You just wasted an armor pack on a full HP Lucio. When you've got... Oh my god. Yeah, your Orisa just threw. Orisa needed to wait. And yeah, whip-shotting shields doesn't get you anything. Yeah, another bad whip shot. That was a good whip shot. Yeah, I like the shield bash. Yeah, there's just nothing to do here. It would have been nice to see your team kind of try to wait for the tank to respawn and the Lucio to go back to spawn to speed boost the tank back to the fight. I think you guys had enough time to do that, I think. But either way, it was a lost fight the second you didn't swap off a Brig here. Honestly, the Lucio's not a terrible pick, but the Lucio with the Brig in that scenario is just, it's not good. So you got 2 points, though, so it's not the end of the world. Let's see what we're up against. Get this down to 1. Okay. So, still on Brig, back to Moira. That's good. Because you're playing Brig into range again. So this is why you're struggling, because you're playing Brig into team comps that don't benefit having a Brig. One thing I would suggest, okay, so I don't believe in being a Brig main in Overwatch 2. I believe in having Brig as your secondary character and pulling her out in right circumstances. You can't just play Brig to play Brig. I mean, you can, but you're going to struggle doing it. The team comp you're up against, you're going to struggle doing it. So what I would suggest moving forward is when you go on defense and you don't know what you're up against, don't pick Brig. Pick anything other than Zen. Anything other than Zen. And then, after a team fight or two, and if they're diving, then you go Brig. And then you pull Brig out. Don't just start on Brig. Realize that there's nothing for you to really be swinging a mace at because they're all playing so far away from you and you have to overextend to even attempt to do anything. And all of a sudden now they've got momentum and you're all struggling and your whole team's not getting healed in the process outside of a couple armor packs here and there and whatever the Moira is able to do, essentially solo healing. You know what I mean? So that would be my suggestion for how to approach this if you're looking to primarily play Brig. Brig is a good secondary support to have in your repertoire, but to just pick her, you're going to struggle and you're going to get countered. Because I actually believe between the Orisa and you, that's why they're not on Doomfist anymore. The Orisa can be a hard counter to Doomfist if played properly. And Brig is a hard counter to Doomfist if played properly. And you were doing, for the most part, pretty good against the Doomfist. You know, a few little minor nitpicks here and there that I pointed out as we were watching. But for the most part, between you and the Orisa, that Doomfist wasn't having a good time. But now that you made him swap off of Doomfist, now it's your turn to get on a different support to play this better. Now, the support I would suggest for you would probably, in this circumstance, would be Baptiste, I think would be a good one. Anna could also work, but I think Baptiste would be your best bet here. If you're good at Lucio, Lucio would work too.
Attackers incoming.
Here, for you.
Wasted armor pack already. You need these armor packs at key parts of fights, and you're just throwing them out too quickly. When you peeked right there, your shield should have been up, and then the other thing is you should be standing right here with your shield up, and then you can see around there for free. Yeah, just not a good whip shot. Again, throwing armor packs when you don't need to. Wait for the team fight to engage. Trust your Moira to be healing some of these guys a bit. Throw the armor packs out when they are getting to about half. I think you're just expecting the Orisa to take damage, but they just haven't yet. These whip shots just feel very like you have a laggy reaction to what you should be whip shotting. I don't know, maybe you need some caffeine in you before you play or something so that your reaction times are a little bit more on point, because your reactions just feel slow. Hold your shield up and get ready to shield bash anything that comes around that corner. Okay, pretty good swing. Your shield should be up here. I would not be whip shotting into this, and then on top of that, you missed. Now, here's another thing. You went this way on attack, but yet, while holding the spot you're holding, it's like you're not expecting anybody to come around here, and you kind of got caught off guard by it, which, to me, that's a little weird. Like, if you went this way, why would you not expect them to? I mean, now you didn't die from it, so it's not the end of the world, but it felt like you got caught off guard by that. Maybe I'm misreading it.
Here, take this.
That Lucio, you should have been able to get a swing in on him. Heal your Moira. Good. Okay, that was a good whip shot. So a little too much swinging. Once you landed the whip shot, just put your shield up, let your aura do its thing, and then maybe get a shield bash in once the aura stops, or maybe get a swing in when the aura stops. You know, all kind of circumstantial to what's going on. But a little too much swinging here. I'd just be using your shield. Tank a little. Like, you could have tanked that rock. Like, that rock gets blocked by a Brig shield. You could have tanked that. The other thing is May's Ice Wall could have tanked that if they were a little bit more reactive too, but... Okay, I'm alright with that shield bash. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know why you're not whip shotting here, because this is the perfect time. You're behind an armored Orisa. This is free. This is a free shield for you, and you've got like 2 people right in front of them. Yep. Okay, yeah, they froze themselves. I was about to say you should throw your shield up and try to block some damage for the Mei, but May's got herself covered at this point. So now at this point, you could whack the Lucio a little bit, or maybe even try to just kind of disengage this a little bit. Yeah, I don't like that whip shot. That whip shot's asking for a lot, especially because there's a Sigma shield right here. So the odds of you hitting anything just in this little range was asking a bit much. Alright, I like the May Ice Wall. That buys you guys some space. Don't like that whip shot. That should have been higher up. Another bad whip shot. I will say one thing though. I am outside of the missed whip shots. You are making Brig work here, holding this close, this area here. I haven't actually seen anybody hold over here before, so this could maybe be a decent Brig strategy that I might have to try experimenting with myself just to see how it plays out on like one of my plat accounts or something, just to see like how it goes. Because I've never seen an enemy team play up this far on the first point. All the games that I've had, everybody's playing like up here and up here. So it's interesting to me to see a team playing here, because this actually does give you a lot of cover, and as Brig, they got to come to you here. So this is, I mean, I'll give you credit for that. This is good positioning for what you're trying to do here. Once you shield bashed, you needed to get out though. That you put yourself in harm's way, and you don't have a lot of shield to get yourself out of this either. Yeah, that shield bash got you into trouble there. And shield bashing with Brig, you got to be careful with the shield bash, because if you miss it, next thing you know, you've overextended yourself. I do that sometimes. Where it like, had you have landed the shield bash the way you intended it to, you wouldn't have overextended, because then you just would have hit something. But in a case like that, you kind of overextended yourself. So don't drop here. I hope you're not about to drop. You gotta wait for your team to respawn and regroup here. Yeah, so right now you're just taking unnecessary damage. You just threw a bunch of armor packs at a full HP May. I don't know why you did that. I don't know why you're peeking here. Your shield should be up and you should be in full retreat. May is doing something odd that I'm surprised they got away with that. Okay, nice. I think you actually blocked that rock. Don't hate that ultimate either. Okay, good. You blocked another rock. Good. Yeah, get out. See that? What you did there with your shield on those 2 times you peeked? We need more of that consistently throughout the game, where you take damage with the shield, you even block an ability or 2, and then you get out. You don't try to whip shot, you don't try to swing, you just take some damage, you block an ability or 2, and you get out. I like that. Do more of that. You're playing a tight corner. You can't whip shot this because there's a Sigma shield. You're whip shotting right here. Just swing it. Not sure if you blocked that one or not. If you did, good job. If you didn't, whatever. I don't like that shield bash. Kind of puts you in harm's way. You should be swinging on that Lucio. Yeah, that whip shot essentially got you killed. You could have swung on the Lucio to maybe get some extra healing going your way, but I think you were going to die anyway. Typically for shield bashes, I like to use that as an ability to either close distance or use it as an escape. Those are some common ways that I use my shield bash. I don't really use it to engage unless I'm like kind of lagging behind my team and I have to like kind of make up some space, but that's the closing the distance thing I was talking about. Now peeking here is a bad idea. This you shouldn't be doing. You're just asking to take unnecessary damage and you're not going to do anything. I mean, okay, say you land a whip shot, so what? Who cares? It doesn't matter if you land one. You got 2 teammates dead. Like you can't do anything here other than just wait. Your shield should be up. That grenade you just took, you should not. That should have been shield damage taken. Your Orisa should not be going in here. See, this is where you would want a whip shot, not how you used it. You're asking for... You threw a whip shot at a tough shot. This is an easy one. You got 3 people you could easily hit for a whip shot here. Now, the other thing is you should not be engaging. You're engaging because of an overzealous and bad decision-making Orisa, and it's compounding you to now overextend. You and an Orisa cannot or should not be able to win this. I'm a little surprised that Junkrat wasn't able to either kill you or heavily punish the Orisa there. That's a good whip shot. Oh, good. Good swings. Oh.
You're not in good shape.
You played it perfectly and then you didn't. Watch this again. All this is great. He ults and you even boop him away from you. Everything up until right here is perfect. Why are you doing this? Why? Why are you doing that? All you had to do once you booped him back is hold your shield up and back away. And you would have played that perfectly. Why you go in there, I will never understand. I don't know what was going through your head for that. Orb is doing a good job just waiting. Maybe he got found. Keep the armor packs going to him. He needs help. That would have been a good whip shot on the Lucio. Yeah, that's it. Now imagine if you had whip shot. You could have whipped the Sigma. Okay, you landed that one. That's good. I would consider ulting here, honestly, because you're kind of losing momentum a little bit, but it could be easily regained, except you're really low. You pop your ult, you get a little bit of armor, and you can re-engage again. Your team is a little banged up. They're more banged up, but I don't know if your team knows that or not. I don't know if you know that or not. Okay, I'm fine with this ult. Only thing that I would say here is maybe engage with your shield up, because you were pretty low. Now that you've got your health back, now you can be swinging and, you know, being more aggressive and whatnot. Yeah, the tire got you though. I think it allowed your team, yeah, I'm fairly certain that allowed your team to re-engage and get control of the card again. So I don't mind that ult usage there.
60 seconds remaining.
Raising shield.
So I would have done one armor pack for the Sojourn and one for the tank, and then I would have tried to get a whip shot to top them both off. Now, obviously, more healing would have had to have gone to the tank, but that would have been enough. Because now your Sojourn is... Wait, that wasn't Sojourn. Who was that? Oh, that's Reaper. Sorry. Okay. Everything I said, take Sojourn out, replace it with Reaper. I don't know why I thought you had a Sojourn. But yeah, that first armor pack should have went to your Reaper. So right there, what I would have done is shield bash the Lucio, because that would propel him forward into your team. And then from there, just start smacking away on the Sigma or the Junkrat. I think probably smacking away on the Sigma would have been a little bit more of the safer route. However, I think you would have been able to get the pick on the Junkrat, although I'm not sure if you would have, I'm not sure if you noticed the Junkrat up until right now. And he's dead anyway. So yeah, smack away on the Sigma. So nanoing Brig can be pretty strong. However, I like comboing it with Brig's ultimate. That kind of makes her still fairly invincible. But just nanoing Brig by herself, I'm not a big fan of. The only thing that I do like about this is you got nanoed when you're already close to him, so there's no like gap to break through or anything like that. So you should be able to punish them fairly well here. You just got to be careful on this window. You went to the other side of it. Yep. So yeah, I mean, you did what you could with it. Ideally, for any Ana people watching that are wondering, if you want to nano a Brig, nano Brig when she's ulting. And that's when she's giving out the aura armor, because who knows what her new ultimate's gonna be. You should be swinging on this Lucio. Whip shot the good. Yep, good. Get an armor pack to that Torb though. Yep, good. Just swing away. Good shield bash, I like it. Yep, alright. So, yeah, that fight there I think you did great at. So, number one is your whip accuracy. You gotta work on that. Oh, that is a terrible 2. Try that again. 2. Your decision making. This is wordy, but felt laggy. And what I mean by that is, like, it felt like you knew what to do, but there was like a lag between your decision making and then pressing the button to do it. And you need to be a little bit more quicker on, like, your reaction time just felt slow. And I'm not totally sure what the best way to work on that would be, other than maybe custom matches, maybe just playing more, maybe being on some caffeine or sugar when you're playing or something like that, getting a little on the hyper side or something, or I don't know, listen to a song that gets you amped up or something. But it felt like you had some slow reaction time. And I don't know. All I can really do for that one is kind of point it out and let you maybe experiment with different ways to try to address that. And then 3 would be playing into range. This is a specific one to Brig. You made it work. I will give you that for that map, but I'm not confident you can make it work on every map. So definitely be a little bit more willing to swap off Brig, which will go into a 4th point. Your armor pack usage, that needs some attention to detail as well. You wasted a lot of armor packs. You threw them at full HP heroes. Sometimes you threw multiple armor packs into full HP heroes. Usually start waiting for them to get like 25 to 50% of their health taken away before you throw an armor pack. Unless they're like going in, then you can maybe like prematurely throw one just to start mitigating the damage they're about to take. But the way you did it, you threw them all out, and then at that point it was just like, well, when another one comes, I'll throw it at whoever needs it the most. And then like that last one of those toward the end of the round when you were throwing it at the Reaper and the Orisa, the Reaper should have got the first one. So if you've got like a kind of a low tank and a low DPS, get that DPS the first one, and then the second one and the third one maybe go to the tank. But usually you want to focus a little bit more on the DPS in a circumstance like that. So I hope this VOD review was helpful, and thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.